So instead of fixating on the issue and the subject of whether or not there are infiltrators or not and who they might be and what level they might be, put mechanisms in place that will work no matter what. For example, be able to identify when the assailants, perpetrators arrived, when they left, what rooms they were in by putting CCTV cameras where they're supposed to be at all points of entry, at all points where anyone else anywhere else would have these cameras. Make sure that they're installed there so that they can see it. There is no point in calling the place maximum security if it's not really maximum security. If there's not really an awareness and just an ability to track down what's going on, it doesn't really make any sense. Also, have an orientation of the forces, of all the security forces, that is focused on the issue of counterterrorism. So basically, have big pepper rallies, big anti-terrorism, counterterrorism parties, and have things like, we are, these the six main points or the five main points of countering terrorism and countering banditry is this, and this, and everybody chant it, everybody know it, so that if somebody walked up to a police officer or walked up to someone from the military, off the street, they would know what the mantra is, and they would be able to chant it and know what it is. So just have that be an entire orientation of everybody in the security agencies towards that, and have it be something that, I remember doing, when I was in school, in middle school, for example, they would the whole counter drug thing, say no to drugs. They would give you T-shirts and pins and this, and you had to attend like in the middle of your school day, all this stuff. I didn't care about drugs anyway, obviously, but that's not the point. The point is they made everybody, say no to it, and it was a big campaign. So have a big anti-terrorism campaign that all the security agent forces know about and know what the important points of it are, the five main points of it are, and say it and are about it. And just really have that, and so that when something goes wrong, you can say, well, what point is this and what point is that? These are just elements of taking something seriously. Those are the things you do. And also just be honest about the equipment needs and what can and cannot be accomplished. Sometimes I think a lot of what it is that maybe there's a lack of funding. Maybe there's no money for this stuff. So instead of saying that, they just pretend it's okay. And then when something happens, then they react to it. And that's why it seems like everything is reaction. Like Nigeria, they never get ahead of the whole security issue. It's always about reacting. But I think that could also just be because there's no funding to do the thing in the first place. So then they just do it after. Otherwise, the key is to get your arm around it before anything happens. Have an entire mantra, an entire attitude around it. Have people in all those communities on the borders towards Kaduna, between Abuja and Kaduna, that are there, that communicate with the people, that ask questions, that they're not just after something happens, go and ask questions. If you do that, they may not trust you because it's somebody new and they've already heard something else from somebody else. Maybe the bad people, maybe the gangs have already paid them or given them something. So be there first, be there, be involved in it, ask questions already before the gangs come and take over and bribe the people to not say anything and whatever it is they do. So really all of that, just have your arms around the whole place, your arms around the whole issue. And again, it could be an issue of there's no funding to do that, but not enough maybe, but I think also then say that. If that's the issue, then say that. But a lot of what you do is they don't say anything at all. They just react afterwards. You don't know what the issue is, what the problem is, just a reaction. Or sometimes we get a pretense of like, oh, we have it handled when they don't. And that's not good. That doesn't work. Don't pretend to have to be, we're working on it. We can't say, no. Don't pretend that.